Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know from the first round of March Madness. The round of 64 has just wrapped up. So we're going to be going over everything you need to know from the first round and what I think is going to happen in the second round games, and where to watch those and stuff. So it's probably going to be quite a long video. I think I'm going to try and do this for every round, so I guess they'll progressively get shorter. So that'll be cool. Anyways, yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and somehow I've already wasted 40 seconds just saying nothing. So yeah, let's get into it. First game, we're going to start with the first four, just because, Texas Southern, St. Mary's, Texas Southern won. I'm not going to waste your time letting you know what happened in a 16v16 matchup. Drake beat Wichita State by 1 point. Good win for Drake to advance. Out of the first four, really close game. Wichita State shot like 16% from three or something disgusting like that. You just can't do that. Appalachian State and Norfolk State played for the honor of getting beaten the crap out of by Gonzaga. And Norfolk State actually won that game by 1 game. Pretty close game as well. And then UCLA and Michigan State, the playing game everyone was looking forward to. UCLA won out. I believe his name is Jaime Jaquez. Transferred from Kentucky to UCLA. He just balled out, and it was too much for Michigan State, the entire Michigan State team, to handle at the end of the day. Now moving on to the actual round of 64 games. Virginia Tech played Florida to kick off the tournament. Nice little overtime game. This is a very boring game overall. It went down to overtime. Florida got the win. What is it? Naheem Oleni, I believe his name is. 28 points from him. Pretty good performance. He plays for Virginia Tech. Colgate and Arkansas, this was a pretty fun game. It was what we expected to be, which was just a track mate. At the end of the day, Arkansas is just way better. And was just able to outpace them. 29 points and 13 rebounds from Justin Smith. It was just too much to handle for a Colgate team who, I'll be honest, the team was whiter than your teeth after you used Colgate toothbrush. I fumbled the joke. Alright, moving on with my depressing life. What else happened? Illinois beat the crap out of Drexel 1v16 matchup. 6v11 matchup. Texas Tech beat Utah State. Utah State, kind of tough. I liked Utah State going into this, but it's kind of tough to win a game when your leading scorer's name is Bean. So, yeah. Cato showed up. He's fine. 13 rebounds, 11 points. That's what you expect from him. But really just not the guard play Utah State needed to pull this one out. And everyone's favorite point guard or shooting guard, I don't know what he plays. They played 4 guards. Texas Tech plays 4 guards. I don't know what he plays. But everyone's favorite guard, Mac McClung, scored 16 points. So good for him. Ohio State cannot handle 45 minutes of Oral, falling 75-72 to Oral Roberts. In probably the biggest upset this weekend, Kevin O'Banner and Max Abmas, Max Abmas, combined for 59 of Oral Roberts' 75 points, and Dwayne Johnson Jr. just couldn't get the job done at the end of the day. Did end up with a 10-18 double-double. Ohio State also had 14-23 from E.J. Liddell. Really good performance by Oral Roberts, and sucks that Ohio State couldn't match that, but I'm glad that we got a good upset. Baylor beat Hartford in a 1v16 matchup. No one cares. Sister Jean's Loyola, Illinois beat Georgia Tech 71-60. Not really a whole lot to say about this game. 21 from Lucas Williams of Loyola, and that's kind of it, really. There's not a whole lot to say. Oregon State beat Tennessee, 12th ranked Oregon State Beavers in the wherever they are, beat the fifth seeded Tennessee Volunteers 70-56, aided by 16 points from Ramen Silva, 13 points from Ethan Thompson, and 14 points from Jared Lucas. Tennessee's Keon Johnson with 14 in the losing effort, and just 19% from 3 for Tennessee. That's probably where they lost this game, to be honest with you. Liberty tried to ruin our Cade Cunningham fun. They couldn't manage to, though. 16 from Elijah Kufi, but Cade Cunningham was just too much fun for us. Only dropped 15. Avery Anderson with 21 in this game. But I'm excited to see what they'll do next round against Oregon State, as those two teams will match up. Wisconsin, UNC, I thought UNC was going to win this game. I thought it was going to be really close. It was not. Wisconsin beat the crap out of UNC. And I believe it was Davidson of Wisconsin, Brad Davidson, 29 points, played in the game of his life. So that's off to him. Houston beat Cleveland State, 2-15 matchup. No one really cares. North Texas upset Purdue, which is weird because Purdue was basically playing home games, but 24 points from Javian Hamlet, and overtime was just too much for the Boilermakers to handle, even with 26 points from their own Jaden Ivey. So congrats to North Texas. Rutgers 10-7 upset over Clemson. Good win for them, I guess. I didn't watch that game, I'll be honest. Syracuse beat San Diego State. I wasn't very surprised by this one. I watched Syracuse and San Diego. I watched San Diego State play against Utah State in their tournament final, and it was just very clear this team wasn't going to be able to match like this kind of team that's like a very good zone defense that Syracuse is. So I picked Syracuse in my bracket, but whatever. Villanova beat Winthrop, who everyone thought was going to win, and didn't. West Virginia beat Morehead State. Colorado Colorado 96 points against Georgetown. Colorado was on fire offensively today. Really impressive. And, 96 points, 96 points, 24 from Jabari Walker off the bench. And nobody else had more than 20. McKinley Wright, the fourth, looked pretty good. 5 rebounds, 13 assists, and 12 points. So good for him. The St. Bonaventure Bonnies couldn't get it done. Florida State beat UNCG. Kansas beat Eastern Washington, who, according to the announcers in the game, Tanner and Jacob Groves looked like, I believe it was Napoleon. I don't remember what it was, actually. Moving on, because I can't remember the joke I wrote down. Texas Southern lost to 1-seeded Michigan. Creighton 1-point win over UCSB. UCSB almost pulled off the upset, but all but one of their starters combining for, I believe it's 25, 38, 40. I don't know where I'm going with this. 53 points wasn't enough. Their bench only gave them 9 points. A bit more than that. It was 11, but bench only gave them 11 points. That wasn't enough to get the job done for UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara. Moving on, Alabama beat Iona. No one cares. Drake, coming off their first four win against Wichita State, fell to the Mobley brothers, who combined for, I believe it was around 32. Garza was too much for Grand Canyon to handle. As literal Larry likes to point out on Twitter, Grand Canyon University is not actually located inside the Grand Canyon, so thanks to him for providing that amazing insight. Maryland upset number 7-seeded Connecticut with a good 23 points from Eric Galea as the Terps move on to the second round of the tournament. Ohio upset 13 seeded Ohio upset 4 seeded Virginia in the defending champs. Great game from Jordan Preston, 13 rebounds, 11 points, and 8 assists, almost a triple-double. And that kid's just really good, and Virginia just wasn't able to get the job done. I thought they were going to go on an okay run, but this Virginia team really just fit the bill of Virginia teams that lose earlier in the tournament, and that's what happened. Missouri, Oklahoma, my Missouri Tigers fell short against the Oklahoma Sooners today, 68-72. Drew Smith, who had 20 points, literally played all but 1 minute of the game. Mark Smith also decently, and Jemiah Tillman. Missouri's probably going to fire their coach, I think, but yeah. Austin Reeves, I don't feel like that's how you say it. It's just too much for us to handle. Gonzaga posted 98, the most scored by any team this round, against Norfolk State. UCLA upset BYU. I had that. I called in that game. Very good. I want to point out that I had UCLA beating Michigan State. I said that on Twitter. You should follow me on Twitter at BloodCow. And the final upset, the final game, Abilene Christian Wildcats, 14th seeded versus the 3rd seeded Texas Longhorns, 53-52. And just an awful game offensively from the Texas Longhorns, and an amazing game defensively from the Abilene Christian Wildcats. But if you look at Texas's numbers, they're decently better. Like, Abilene Christian shot 30% from the field. Texas shot 45. Texas didn't take enough shots. Abilene Christian took 27 more shots than Texas. That's just unacceptable for Texas at the end of the day. And now moving on to the second part of the video, where we talk about the round of 32 games. So kicking off tomorrow, we have Sister Jean's Loyola, Illinois, taking on the University of Illinois. I think Illinois is just going to rout Loyola. I like Loyola. They're a fun team, but Illinois is just going to rout them. Wisconsin and Baylor. I think Baylor's going to beat the crap out of Wisconsin. That game's on CBS as well. With as well the Loyola and Illinois game. I'm definitely going to make sure to watch the Loyola and Illinois game. Syracuse and West Virginia, probably just a big West Virginia win to send themselves to the Sweet 16 there. Texas Tech and Arkansas, that'll definitely be a good game. That game's over on TNT. I'll make sure to check that one out a bit. That'll be a good game. Rutgers and Houston. Houston's probably just going to destroy Rutgers. We'll see if number 7 seeded Florida can handle 40 minutes of Oral. Probably can, but this might be a good... Oral Roberts, I can see them making a Sweet 16 run. I hope they do. North Texas and Villanova, that'll be a fun game. And then we get some Cade Cunningham fun tomorrow night. Oregon State, Oklahoma State. Sadly, they put it on TBS for some reason, but it's alright. We can still watch it. Then we'll have some Cade Cunningham fun. Luka Garza takes on Oregon. I think I like Oregon in this game. CBS on Monday at a bit past noon. Oklahoma and Gonzaga, easy win for the Zags. Oklahoma's decent, but not good enough. Either UCLA or Abilene Christian's going to be in the Sweet 16, so that's mildly depressing. I do want to watch that game. I don't know why there's so many more appealing games, but whatever. Ohio and Creighton, that'll be a good one. LSU and Michigan. Michigan will probably rout LSU, but I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan gets upset. This game's either going to be a blowout or really close. Colorado, I think they'll just destroy Florida State. That game's going to be really interesting. Alabama will probably beat the crap out of Maryland, and I like USC to upset Kansas. I think Evan Mobley finally shows the world who he is. But yeah, I suffered through all of these games. I wouldn't say suffered, it was actually a lot of fun. But yeah, leave like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I should probably figure that out. But